Hi guys, my name is Shlomi. I recently started with AI, mostly with pictures, but now I'm trying a video. So I wrote a story and I made it into a script and I got three different videos. And so go see, and if you can, tell me what's the best one. Thank you.
Imagine if you could be anywhere in a blink of an eye. Where would you go? This was the reality for Kurt, an ordinary-looking boy from a small village. His life was filled with extraordinary friends who, like him, possessed unique abilities. Victor could pass through walls, Warren flew freely across the sky, and Scott had a gaze that could break anything. But Kurt, he had the most fascinating talent of all. With a simple thought, Kurt could disappear from a boring class and reappear with a cold drink or a funny dog for his friends' amusement. But life has a twisted sense of humour, doesn't it? For Kurt's friends, the laughter faded too soon. Victor, who once danced through walls like a spectre in a vintage film, met his end in the army, crushed under a tank in his sleep. Warren, the boy who could soar through the sky, ventured to Scotland, only to meet his demise at the hands of a souvenir shop owner, all over a harmless Loch Ness rabbit. Then there was Scott, whose gaze, once shattered the mundane, fell into a blinding accident and was lulled into an eternal slumber. One by one, the extraordinary boys met their tragic ends. And just like that, Kurt found himself alone, with no friends left to amuse. So here's a question for you. Where would you go if you had Kurt's ability? We've been journeying with Kurt, a boy gifted with the extraordinary talent of instant transportation. But his gift is a double-edged sword. As we peel back the layers of his life, we unearth a tale of despair and loneliness. His comrades, his confidants are no more. Their unique talents extinguished, their laughter silenced. Kurt, once the life of the party, now roams the corridors of solitude. His ability, once a source of joy, now a stark reminder of his desolation. He could be in the heart of a bustling city or atop a tranquil mountain, yet he feels alone, always alone. Kurt could be anywhere, but he had nowhere to go. Nowhere. Kurt, once surrounded by the joyous laughter of friends, now sits alone, engulfed by a deafening silence. He's confined to a small bed, its sheets stained with time and neglect, a stark reminder of the companionship he once had. His room, once a hub of camaraderie and youthful jest, now echoes with the chilling hollowness of isolation. His world has shrunk to the confines of these four walls, his only company the ghostly memories of happier times. With not a soul to call upon, Kurt finds himself trapped in solitude, his only companions the memories of days long gone. As the silence becomes unbearable, Kurt's mind drifts back to a time filled with camaraderie and laughter. A time when the days were brighter and the nights shorter. Back to the halcyon days of his childhood, when his small village was brimming with his friends, each possessing unique abilities that set them apart. There was Victor, who could pass through walls as if he were an apparition from an old black and white film. Warren, who took to the skies like a bird on the wing, and Scott, whose gaze could shatter objects as if they were made of the most fragile glass. And then there was Kurt, an ordinary-looking lad with an extraordinary gift. He could teleport anywhere at will, a talent he often used to escape the monotony of everyday life, and reappear with a cold drink or a playful dog, much to his friends' delight. But as the days of high school came to an end, so did their time together. The curtain of time pulls back, revealing the harsh reality of the present. Victor, a man once able to pass through walls, tragically ran over in his sleep in the army. Warren, the flyer, met his end in Scotland, slain by a souvenir shop owner who mistook him for the Loch Ness monster. Scott, with his destructive gaze, blinded and now sleeps eternally. Then there's Kurt, capable of instant transportation anywhere, but ironically he has nowhere to go. Kurt, who could be anywhere, had nowhere to go and no one to be with. He was alone, truly alone. In a small, unassuming village, a boy named Kurt was born with an extraordinary ability. Picture a tall, lean lad with a mop of brown hair and hazel eyes that sparkled with mischief. Kurt wasn't just your average boy next door. He had a knack for instant transportation, a trick he would often use to lighten up a dull day. One moment he'd be in class, the next he'd reappear, cold drink or funny dog in tow, much to the amusement of his friends. But as his high school years ended, so did the carefree life Kurt once had. Life wasn't always this lonely for Kurt. His friends Victor, Warren and Scott, each uniquely gifted, were his constant companions. But life after high school took them on different paths. Victor, with his ghostly abilities, joined the army, only to tragically die in his sleep. Warren the Flyer flew to Scotland, discovered the true nature of the Loch Ness monster, and was ironically killed by a souvenir shop owner. Scott, with his powerful gaze, was blinded and fell into a permanent sleep. And just like that, Kurt found himself alone. With his friends gone, Kurt's world suddenly felt too big and too empty. He was a boy who once commanded the power to be anywhere he desired. From the scorching sands of the Sahara to the icy peaks of the Himalayas, he could be there in the blink of an eye. Yet he found himself in a predicament as peculiar as his ability. He had nowhere to go. Imagine having a key to every door in the world, but no home to return to. That was Kurt's reality. His ability was a ticket to endless exploration, but without companionship, every journey felt hollow. Every mountain summit, every bustling city street, every tranquil beach, they all echoed with the laughter and camaraderie of his lost friends. His power, once a source of joy and adventure, now only served as a stark reminder of his solitude. The boy who could be anywhere was left with nowhere. Yes, Kurt, the boy who could be anywhere, found himself with nowhere to go.